I don't know how y'all like that, but I still ain't did what I was supposed to do. I actually was gonna try to do it today, but as you see, I'm on a little early because I just felt that I should just jump on. My schedule has been changing a little bit back and forth over time. Really this year, you know, doing some different things with my Sunday schedule, and then during the summer I had a little stuff I added work wise, and it was best that my schedule was at 2 o'clock. But historically, if you've been with Greg said it, you know that I've been coming on at noon for the last couple of years, and then earlier this year, springish, I transitioned to 2 o'clock. They go a little over sometimes, depending on what I had to do. But I said, let me come on. I know Cleveland come on at the 1 or something, I believe, today. This is usually my favorite time. I said, let me come on instead of 2 o'clock. I'm gonna have a real conversation with y'all today. I ain't made all my upgrades and all that. I guess I have it done by next week. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You see, I did my little countdown and all that. I think I'm gonna go with this. I got some things. I got a little thing. Do a little something like that. Ain't even gotta add nothing special. I can do little sounds and stuff, and that's just for the free. So I'm gonna take it down. I'm gonna be adding some countdowns and all these different things and features I see we got here that I ain't played it well yet. Video clips, all that good stuff I'll be able to do. So y'all work with me. Cut my little banner on. Greg said it live. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But how y'all doing? And what the girls say, how y'all doing? I know people don't expect me to come on. Kanisha, you in the building, say hello. This is a tough conversation. I kind of glimpsed in it earlier, Thursday. This felt like it's just worth going into. Because this is a real conversation. Colorado's off this week, so what better time to have it? No football. It looked like some games were played yesterday. When Colorado not right, he ain't really doing no scouting. You're like, what are you scouting for them for when they ain't quite right? You know? And when I really look at it, I'm sitting here like, okay, some good football going on. If you really, really, really like watching it like that. What's going on? And I know some of y'all do, some of y'all don't. Um, I gotta have a reason to watch something. I did start watching the Georgia and let's see, Georgia versus who was it, Texas, and it was pretty cool. It's good football, man. I can't lie. I can't lie. Good football. It wasn't a whole lot of like if they make mistakes, it just ain't blatant, ain't continuous. Georgia beat the mess out of Texas. It looked like that's the way it was going. Um, Good football, and it's like I can't help but to think about Colorado when you watch other teams play. Like, oh, they ain't hitting like that. Not only people take the surface, they're like, oh, they hitting. They bigger, they stronger, but it just looked like football at that level is supposed to look like. Like the blocking, it just ain't a whole bunch of careless mistakes, a whole bunch of penalties. And the referee, that's a whole other thing. But it's just not a whole bunch of like look like juvenile football. Like these guys at this level, if they got to this level, they don't play little league, more than likely, definitely high school, and they don't got recruited. They went past the lower levels to the highest level football. You can try to knock Big 12 you on that's Power 4 football, formerly Power 5. And these guys were recruited, top recruits, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. Everybody should have that. It makes you wonder what in the world is going on with Colorado, really, because at the same time you look at it, you like I understand talent disparities, I really do. I understand all these different things that you kind of have to deal with. You building a program like a Georgia over, year after year after year, year after year after year. building 5-star, 4 stars on top of each other. Everybody understands that. But I guess my thing is, like, what is the explanation really when you see such a large disparity? Like, it looks like Power Five versus FCS school, how it's supposed to look. That's how Colorado has started playing as of recently. Like, yeah, they're playing close games with everybody, and that was cute. Then it just said, we show how bad this thing really can get. And it's like, man, it's scary to see the level of play just diminish like that. Especially when you look at other teams. And then it leads you into certain conversations. It leads you into certain conversations like, okay, what's going on with Colorado? What's going on with the coaching staff? What's going on? Woo, 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 woo. That's what it leads you to. It leads you to questioning, do some changes need to be made? Let me walk myself through this. Does changes need to be made at Colorado? Significant changes at that. Because it's only so long that you get to look like that before people start coming at you, really. They start coming at Coach Prime, and it's like, what changes do you need to make for real, for real? For real, for real. Because if you don't make these changes, what what's the end result? Like, you don't have the talent. You don't have the talent Georgia have. But doggone it shouldn't look like you don't not belong on the field with them at all. It shouldn't look like that. It shouldn't look like you on a whole nother level. It's almost like you're at high school level compared to them. What do you do? How do you make these corrections, y'all? That's like part of what I'm thinking. But that ain't really what I'm here to talk about. No, no, I don't know if it's a quick, because that case you can use that logic. You can use that logic and say, well, why he leave Jackson State. Did he turn down that challenge? Did he quit? Uh, I don't know. How you want to look at it? Do you use that logic to say why he left Jackson State? Because that's what people did when he left. So my question is this. Let's just get down to it. My question is this: If Colorado, if Colorado is not who he needed to be, do he end up doing the same thing he did with Jackson State? Because what happened with Jackson State is he had a certain vision, and he realized at some point that he's not going to be able to fulfill it there. He realized at some point that they weren't on the same page. Something, we don't know everything. Something behind the scenes changed to the point where he was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to do what I'm doing here. We're not on the same page. The universe as a whole, the everything, the conference as a whole, not gonna be able to receive what I'm doing in totality. Like what I'm doing and for my child. Because I'm saying they're gonna hold it against him, which they end up doing anyway. That's why he been third string at Cleveland. But and then Shiloh, he left Jackson State, graduated, went did 2 years, and they still didn't let him make a team. So it's like he could have did that out of Jackson State. So Coach Prime had a plan at the end of the day. So how do we look at it? They just announced right out there. I don't know if it was true or not. They'd be throwing stuff. I don't know if it would be real or not, but they just announced that, but not after we had former AD taken up for Coach Prime, if that was true about how she. And then he was gone. He taken up for Coach Prime, and then he gone. He is the biggest alliance Coach Prime had. Don't get it twisted. Let's go back to when Coach Prime left Jackson State. He claimed he was on mission for God, and then it was led over here. And he said that the former AD came over, flew down to speak to him personally down there in Jackson to convince him to come up there. It was his connection to that guy that made him decide to go to Colorado. Even if y'all go back and pay attention, even back then when you look at, everybody didn't want Coach Prime to be there, right? You had some people who really didn't, even though he was voted in, it was a split. it wasn't like crazy, like everybody was just happy to see him come. Some people, for whatever reasons we never really got to, didn't want him to be there. They didn't want him to be there. So now you got to think, okay, if they didn't want him there, who still that didn't want him there? Did they have any hand in him not, as far as moving Rick George? Did they have any hand in who coming? Like, are they still against him to the point where they still want to get somebody to replace him? Has that vendetta, is it still there? I wonder. I wonder, because if that's the case, they're gonna have a lot of influence at the board. Cause we don't. How much is the board? Who knows? Anybody know how much of the board was for Coach Prime versus against Coach Prime? Do anybody know that? We do know that it was some people against him. We do know that. So how do they move forward? Is the AD that's coming in going to be Coach Prime friendly? Is the AD coming in got the same attitude as some of the other board members? Like, Coach Prime ain't all that. If he don't doing a job, he no different than nobody else. Oh, he got a little more time. Does this new AD come in like that, or does he come in like Rick George? This is a great asset. We can protect him. We can build with him. We want the long haul. How much control does Coach Prime have? Influence does he have in the next AD? Because look at this. All the other sports are attached to this AD too. And I don't know, but it look like the way they talk, they all doing good. Soccer doing good, volleyball doing good, basketball doing good. It's like everybody doing good. Maybe they started doing good, a lot of them, since Coach Prime got. I don't know. Maybe they was highlighted. Coach Prime likes to highlight, especially, to kind of offset what the football team doing. It's like, I'm saying impressive that for football they splendid with other sports. Now I'm like, I get that, but it looked like the other people are doing well. Is what I'm saying. It looks like the other teams are doing well. Well, I don't. Well, let's have a conversation, because he ain't got to give up nothing. It's a contract. If somebody else come in, they're gonna buy him out. That's the point. So let me pull up something. Let me pull up something, because I saw this at the gym the other day and I brought it up. Number of power for head coaching jobs, right? Pull up on my phone, right? Because I don't know how much of it. It's 8 right now. It's 8 of it today. They have 8 power forward vacancies. That includes LSU, Penn State, Florida, and Auburn. Now, I think it's up to 9 now. That's why I want to check up to date. Because ESPN say 9. So you looking at, let me give y'all the list. Somebody can put in the chat if they want. Stanford, UCLA, Virginia Tech, ACC, Oklahoma State, same conference. Arkansas, I heard that come up before. Arkansas, SEC. Penn State, Big Ten. That's a lot of weight. Penn State is crazy. They coach just did great last year, and they ready to get rid of them that fast. That's crazy. Florida, the Florida boys, LSU, and Auburn, SEC. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 SEC schools who gonna be looking for a coach. And then you got Oregon State, UAB, which is non-powerful. They saying that Kentucky can come up. They say Wisconsin can come up, which is Big Ten. Kentucky is SEC. They say Florida State could come up, ACC. Now some other people probably don't turn them off. Florida State turned them off. I think Auburn might have even turned them off. He had some interviews before he came to Colorado while he was at Jackson State. Truth be told, the conversation is not about is he gonna be fired? The conversation is, do he wait to be fired, or do he do he wait to be fired, or do he take advantage of an opportunity if the opportunity is there? Now, I'm thinking the opportunity is not as strong as it was year one at Colorado, right? Or maybe after year two. I think the opportunity is strong. Just like anything, you strike when it's hot. I think he's more appealing as a coach after a 9-3, 9-4 season than he is after a 4-8 and 4-9, season, 4-8. So you got to think about this. It's like anything else. That also applies to your players. That's why I feel like Staub screwed this up. After Staub had that Utah game, they stole from him. He was the hottest thing going. I think he should hit the portal. And I had Cash Cleveland there. I don't know how that benefited him, but Cash Cleveland said, I'm finna ride this thing. I don't know why Cash Cleveland couldn't have got a scholarship, because they say Colorado still had like 11 scholarships left over that they didn't use. I don't know how you not use them things. I don't know if they would have used. I don't know. I don't know. He just bounced and said, I got a better opportunity. I remember when that boy Mikey Harrison left. He's been the most, he's with Shador, but he was the most effective tight end Colorado's had in these 3 years. He was small size, but a lot of people use, even in the NFL, and he could have put on weight. And it's like, we need a blocking tight end. You ain't found neither since then. You ain't found a blocking or catching tight end. At least he was effective in the pass game. He could have developed. I feel like you should have put a scholarship in somebody like that hands, because you got these scholarships. We'll get him for autonomy. And, Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? It's not much different than Mississippi. But it's SEC. It's kind of, South, so you can tap into that South bed. It's kind of central and it's South, so you can kind of like recruit on a different level than you all the way on one side. So he kind of central, but you still South, so you got that. Definitely. He definitely should have hit the portal. Yeah, definitely. He robbed himself. I don't know, being stubborn. He could have been started somewhere. I don't know if he would have kept it, but they can pass scholarship unused to other programs at the school. I think he was helping see you through the football, for basketball, other sports. Maybe, at the end of the day, I don't know exactly why they did what they did. I know it's been brought up by alums, so I don't know if the scholarships were used or not. But what I am saying is this. Coach Prime is in a peculiar situation. He's at a crossroad. He's at the place where he got to really evaluate what he's going to really be able to do to Colorado. He got to be real with himself. Is it really possible? Everybody talking about NIL and all that. Is you going to keep crying about that, or are you going to go ahead and get with the people who got NIL? Because it's one or two things going on in Colorado. Either Colorado won't have the money, or they don't want to have the money. But see, you got to think about it. What is his support level from an alumni level? What is his support level from a board level that could be resisting him? The people who don't want him, he could probably get more money. And if there's certain people that are like, we're going to undercut him, you best believe some of that's going on. Especially everybody didn't want him and they still around. And they're going to be there when he gone. If you're not fully behind him, you already kind of behind the 8 ball. You're not a winning program. You're in the mountains. You this and that. And then you're not going to really put that money behind him. That's what happened at Jackson State. Jackson State and the city and all that around him wasn't really put that money behind what he wanted to do. And he said, if I'm not going to get what I need, I'm gone, basically. That was part of it. If Colorado is not going to be able to help him get to the point where he needs to, he's going to have to make a decision. Absolutely, Juju should have started from here. See, that's a whole nother conversation. But we'll get into that. Colorado is not that kind of place, right? Football-wise. Even Boulder is not a football place. You walk around there, man, it's just as hippie and loosey-goosey. It's not a football town, man. Soft, man. Soft. You got boys walking around there, 6'8", two boys walking around 6'8", both of them with doggone dresses on. Like, it's not football. It's like modern, do whatever I want type of crap. And that's how they play. They play like that. They play like undisciplined. They play like they soft. They play like the environment they're in. It's weird. And I said that when I went. But I'll say this. Yes, I feel like Juju should have started for one reason in particular. You recruited him there to be that. He's the biggest recruit you don't have there probably ever at that position in a while. And you brought him there, and then at the last minute, I guess at the portal, you brought Salt in, and as you call it a quarterback competition, that's great. But when you bring in a young guy like Juju, you already had Staub there, who that was gonna be what, third season. You had Ponder there. You had guys who've been in the system. Juju you need to put all your resources. He's a young dude behind building his confidence and the team confidence around him. He's splitting with Salter didn't benefit him or Salter. Just like we talked about at Cleveland, like I said. With the whole thing, then you end up trading out both of the guys who's supposed to be the starter, and you leave with two rookies and then the wrong rookie playing. And now you halfway through the season, you don't screw the whole season. It looks a lot like that. Juju, if you had to let him know, because he's a mental guy, he's smart. Hey, you gonna be the guy, so you got 8 months to get ready. It ain't no, I don't know, is it gonna. It's hard for anybody really, and it's hard for the team to know who to rally behind, especially two different styles of players. The whole they already said both of them gonna play two different styles of offense, play calling. You already knew, and you seen it. So how Juju would play, would be a lot more passing, a different style. How do you train a team to have two different styles of offense? Because you're split. They should have went with Juju. Let Salter went on to a program that was a better fit for him. Because it is programs that's fit for him. Instead of putting them both in limbo. Juju be that guy. He's a prolific passer like Coach Prime know he wanted, closer to Shador. And he the future. And if you're going to build on the future, that would help your recruiting because you bring these young guys in saying you're going to play, then play them. The other young guys play, he should play. And you say he getting experience and he's going to trap because of what his resume, what he's done. Some guys is already coming out, who's already came out, who's already been in the league, because he played at ninth grade against seniors and won state championships, breaking records. A lot of these guys would hit transfer portal and all that would play with him. But you're not committed to him. It's like, what are you showing them? And then what are you showing Juju? So it's a real scary thing to play with. Because it ain't that. Juju played freaking varsity football at like 13, 14 years old in the top tier conference in Georgia and went to the state championship and won. Straight out of doggone middle school. So this ain't new to him. This man left for high school a year and a half early for a reason. This man been playing up. For the people who know him, Joe, he been playing up. Even in Little League ball, he was playing up. He always played up. So you throwing age around that won't really that's the wrong thing for Colorado to do. Because that's the case they shouldn't have recruited him. And they should have said, well, doggone it. He reclassed. And not only he reclassed and came early. So he left a year and a half early to come be at Colorado. If you felt like he wasn't capable of being that guy, you shouldn't have recruited him. You shouldn't have recruited him because he didn't do all that to come sit on the bench. He could have just stayed where he was or went somewhere else. Yeah. It would have been different. It's different for anybody. You week to week, you don't know you playing and all as a quarterback. That's hard. And then you say he's 17. That's even more hard. It's terrible, but they are in Texas in Big 12. He should have his people. Is Baylor one of the teams? I know they were at one point. I don't know if Baylor one of the teams. He took left a map, all the stuff thing. He also made no promises to Don there. He didn't quit. He left. Well, you can use the same thing in Colorado. We can call it quitting. Well, I don't know, man. He can't go back to HBCU. They didn't want him. They didn't want him. You wanted him, but they didn't want him. That's what I'm telling you. Them people didn't want him. I talked to plenty of them. They despised him. They were jealous of him. They called him arrogant because what he was doing, he was changing the traditions and stuff like that and how they spend their money and the bowl games. And these people were mad. They already were jealous of him. Like, who you think you are? Come in and change up. They said the same thing Colorado said. We won before they didn't even want him to win because they didn't want him to get credit. Like, oh, Jackson State has history. It's like it was offended that he was like, I'm here to revive this and that. The SWAC has put people in the Hall of Fame. Anything he said, they took out of context. Yeah, he been playing the boy, man. He showed it, Yeah, yeah. Coach Prime say that, but I mean, again, if you didn't want the boy, you leave him there because he's 17. He's not 17. First of all, he's 18. He turned 18 when he got there. He's not 17. He was 17 when he got there. He turned 18 like in August of, just September. So he's not 17. That's not accurate. If he's leaving CU now, he quit. Oh, well, you said that about Jackson State then, because like people just asked, did he fulfill his promise at Jackson State? It depends on who talking. He brought Colorado a winning season in the bowl game in his second year. He can say that I did it. Now, did he win this year? No, but he can say I brought the spotlight back, just like he can say I brought the spotlight back to Jackson State. He can say that. We can turn it and twist it however we want it. If Coach Prime can get the Baylor job, you know, yeah. I mean, and that's what I'm looking at. Like Coach Prime ain't had the money. Yeah, Coach Prime is a guy who he builds off of marketing and energy. It's just not just regular football. He got well off. He built that at Jackson State, and he built that at Colorado. That energy came to Colorado. Now, what does he have? You know, I think that I think that him going and recreating that spark in a different place is probably the best. Look, think about it. At the end of the day, he got to rebuild Colorado. He has what's going on. He has 38 seniors leaving. Who knows how many freshmen or whatever going to leave? Let's say you got what 80? How many scholarships? Because they took the scholarships. They took they took away some of the scholarships. Well, not scholarships. They took away a lot of the stuff with the walk-ons and everything. Um, I'm wondering if he have to replace 50 guys, he gonna have scholarships, right? That's gonna be not quite like the first year, but that's gonna be a lot like, you know, you building with new characters, people you don't know. You building with, you got to teach everybody the culture again, and they ain't played together again. You in the same position again, and then you probably building with a lot of people who gonna be gone again in a year or two. And that model has not worked well. I mean, it seemed like it worked. We get some of the guys like Jimmy out of it, but it hasn't worked well for this year with having that many seniors. So the question is, what quality of recruiting are you going to get from a portal? What are you going to get? Would be a great fit for Prime and CCU. I don't know. I don't know. How you gonna do that? That's backwards. That won't make sense. Um. Oh yeah, Auburn. I think what happened with Auburn. Auburn. I think they had a chance to recruit him before he came to Jackson. Not Jackson. Before he came to Colorado. I think he was really close to getting that job. Look how fast that happened though. That's another thing. When you leave and go to a job like those, their grace is not going to be that strong for you. Look at Penn State. They was just like at the top of the top of the top a year or two ago. Really last year, really last couple of years. And look how quick they turned on their coach. Look what is the expectation? Winning is clearly not enough. If they don't beat certain teams or get to the championship, you go to certain programs, they expect you to be, Nick Saban. You don't have no time to rev up and build up. Let me see. More than other program you mentioned, we should push for Baylor there. I don't know. Man. I mean, Baylor ain't on the list. I gave the list of teams, and Baylor's not on the list as of now. Um, Yeah, man. Yeah, man. They'll fire you after you win. Like it's I don't know, man. I would say it would be Auburn. And I would say it would be Auburn first, then maybe Florida, since he loved Florida so much. But them people, man, they tough on you though, man. They not gonna be one thing about Coach Prime, he's had ADs who protected him. Or even at Jackson State, the AD protected him. He had ADs. It's gonna be AD driven. If you just go down to a school where they just kind of, oh, you didn't win, get out of here. That's rough. Now, Coach Prime has the brand, he has the eyeballs. He needs the perfect fit from standpoint that's gonna give him what he need to maximize that. He needs the line. He the thing about it, if he leave, he can take the quarterback with him. Yeah, did that piece and went back to his hometown. I haven't seen that piece. Mm, yeah. Juju should have been allowed to do that. I haven't seen that piece. I don't think, but that'd be pretty good. I don't have the money. Yeah, they don't have the money, and I don't even think they would give it to him. Honestly, I don't think he got enough people who buy in and to give him the money. It's like they kind of sabotage him, probably. What you think? He can't coach in no Alabama. Mm, I don't know. I do know that the standard is high at Auburn and stuff like that. I do know Auburn would be real rough. You know, I don't think he would go somewhere where he's not allowed to do. But I think well-off media is not the well-off media of the past. I think the well-off media of the past was built a lot on relationships. Shador, Shiloh, Travis. He ain't even doing it now like he used to. So I don't think he even wants to do it like he used to because they feel like a mixture of they don't want to show too much and all that. So I think that he would. I think they still would record it, but I don't think well off will ever be the same. That's why I said enjoy stuff. I told people to enjoy this window of time. Nothing stays the same forever. You know, Coach Prime, this era that we got to see was unique, and nothing stays the same. You know, even though you see Rick George moving, Coach Prime knew that was coming. You know, but all that money he brought him, but they still got to give it back to you. I don't think Baylor on the list. Well, did I read Baylor on the list? I'm missing something. Well, where y'all getting Baylor from? I said Stanford. I said Stanford, UCLA, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, which is in conference, Arkansas, Penn State, Florida, University of Florida, LSU, and Auburn. Now we may be sleeping on LSU too. That's like kind of like Mississippi, like because it's in what part is that in? It's not New Orleans. I forget the name of it, but it's kind of like that area, kind of country, kind of rural, but it's right up there by Southern. Mm, it's Southern off the chain. So I ain't mentioned no Baylor. They say that Oregon Oregon UAB, which is smaller. I don't know how they let Oregon State fall off like that to non-power five. And they said possibly Kentucky and Wisconsin and Florida State. I ain't heard nothing about no Baylor. Yeah, well, it clearly are. They keep saying Baylor. So I'm thinking like at the end of the day, Coach Prime always say when he leaves schools, he said it when he left Jackson. He said either you gonna leave when you hot, I'm putting my terms. You gonna leave when you hot, or they gonna make you leave. He says it's a good thing to leave on your own terms when you hot. Either way, you gonna be leaving. I think this is the hottest he gonna be, or he can risk another year of instability. The portal is not what it used to be. The portal has one window now. You used to be able to bring some guys in, and then you know you have one guy come in. I've seen it every year. Guy come in that winter, and then he turn around, and spring porter, they jump out and leave. So I think that, when you're bringing in guys now, not only do you have a shorter portal window to figure out who you want, that means you got a shorter time to figure out who you want, research them, but you can't turn around and help them jump back in the portal in a few months now. They're there. So that's risky. The portal is become even more risky now with the one window. He's going to have to rebuild a whole team off the portal. And we already keep saying what's good going to come out the portal, what quality come out the portal. Most good folks is going to be on their team. He's in a situation to keep building off of scraps. He's in like a hamster wheel right now, where if he continues to have to build that, how do he build? People say he should get high school players. High school players. They'll leave possibly, but his best players right now are high school players. So how does he play this thing? Because he want to win right now. He don't wait till the high school players develop, get enough weight on them, because that can take a couple years because they undersized, they lack experience. You go into the portal and they may not be as good. He's probably had more misses than hits in the portal. This to be real. When you look at the last 3 seasons, we probably can say he had some good players, but more not good players than good players. That's why it affected. I think last year was his best portal players because you had Block Bully, you had Kyle Hill Green, you had BJ Green come in. Those were some of the best portal. Even Hood, even though he played that much, his portal players have contributed more last year at the end of the year, and you see the difference. Now he's going to have to go into next year with at least 50 more portal guys because he got players going to be leaving, and then he got seniors leaving. Seniors. I don't know how many of those seniors can try to stay another year. I don't know. They're 5th year. I don't know if that's counted in that number, honestly, because I don't know. They say DJ McKinney could leave, but I think he could stay another year. I think because he redshirted, so technically it's his senior year. Amarion Miller, he can leave in his 3rd year, but he really need to come back for his senior year, and I think he would because they ain't playing with Deion's folks, man. I mean, when they come out when they go to the draft, they're not drafting these boys. They shooting shots at Deion. A lot of them boys didn't even have a chance to get drafted. And look how late they got drafted when they was shooting at Shador. And them boys went in the 5th round, 6th round. A free agent. And still making the team. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely have to get more high school guys. They just keep talking about how much money they have and don't have. They let them come back. Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. Find a job where he can start over and do it right. Yeah. I think I don't know about taking the year off. I mean, it probably could benefit him. But I will say this: he need to start over. He gonna have to start over one way or another. You know. So you say that, is his coaching fitting for this? Like, is he a quality coach? Do you see Coach Prime as a quality coach for college football? Like, when you look at these other teams, is it the players, the coaching, or both? Is it his coaching that's making him lose, or is it the players? Is it his coaching staff that's making him lose? Because he looks real sad over there, and he be just getting beat. Now, granted, every game he lost, he didn't get whooped, but they look like high school. They ain't making tackles. They look dysfunctional, like they ain't practice. Like they plays, receivers running to the same plays, the routes, just all. It's like they don't know what they're doing. Like, what's going on? Like, y'all don't practice. Is that practice? Is that coaching? Is that the players? Like, what is going on? What is going on? Because, yeah, we know he needs trenches. We know that the line is this, that, that, and other. We know that. But how far do we go with this thing? Like, is him moving somewhere else? Is it beneficial? Is it something that he's not doing right? Is it something that his staff is not right? Like, can he take his staff to another place and win? Or do he need to just do he need to go somewhere and keep their staff? Like that typically don't happen. Like, cause when you go somewhere else, you start from scratch. Cause that coach gone, you're not gonna keep his folks, and his folks you're gonna go with him. And it's a problem. They probably need to leave anyway. If you, wow, some, yeah, yeah. So that's your recruiter then, right? That's your recruiter. Five first, failure to scheme. He been there what 3 years. This is a guy who used to be a head coach in the NFL. Why should that be the case? Why couldn't he scheme? He's done it at both levels. Why couldn't he scheme? He has to get this NFL experience. I mean, you can see a coach talent on the line first name. Yeah, I don't know how the coaching translates. Staff doesn't need to leave, of course. I mean, if he stayed, people have said he need to gut it. So if you got to gut something, why not gut it somewhere new? If you got to start fresh, why not start fresh? That's my logic. It's not a knock against Colorado, but if he got to start fresh, because Colorado starting fresh, man, they got new AD. You don't know. It's like going to a player going to a team, don't know who the coach is. You don't know who the AD is going to be, his philosophy, his support for you. And then you looking up, I got a doggone good everything anyway. And you also got to factor this in. If he don't make a move, his players can make a move. I mentioned this the other day. Like I've seen in the business world, especially in the recruiting world, people say, "Hey, we leaving. Either you gonna leave with us, or your folks gonna leave with us. I'm finna call them next. I'm gonna either let you come and they come with you, or I'm gonna go over your head and call them." And it's like that's happening anyway. You know they knocking down the door to Juju. Juju, we got better line for you. We got better support. We gonna have better closing, and you can be closer to home. You ain't gotta stay out there, and we can win. You can be in the playoff every year. You can't even gamble if Colorado will ever be in the playoff. Why would you do that? You can still play with us and still win and not get sacked and your hair pulled out. They saying that. Jordan Seaton, man, they messing up your draft stock, man. They out there got you looking crazy, man. Come on, you the only line. Come over here and play with these studs. Boom, 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 boom. Well, we put linemen in NFL every year. And you know, all the weight don't have to be on you, but then you can be the man. At least you win. Because you look at Benson. He came here. Indiana won last year. We did all right. Benson got benched. But back then, Indiana started. They number two. And he benefited. It's very few people who hit that portal win. And in fact, they accepted him back. You know, it must be the same line coach or something. I don't know, because it was a new head coach. He went back and played. That's beneficial to his career. He had a went out on his career losing. His NFL aspiration was gone. His confidence was shot. Getting benched at Colorado. Yeah, I mean, they definitely need to teach. They definitely need to teach. Especially the linebackers, they clearly need to be taught. If you can go to pro level, you need more college. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely need to be coached. But you also got to have a quality of player. When you can't help but look at Georgia and be like, boy, that's a different quality of player there. Just how they move, how they hit. They not arm tackling. I don't know what they're doing. They practice versus Colorado, but they not arm tackling. They hitting and slamming. It is aggressive. It looked like what it's supposed to look. It's the speed of the game look like it's supposed to look at Power 4. This is not FCS. This is not Division 2. The speed of the game is different. Completely all the way around. Not just certain players dominate, but all the way around. It looked like a bunch of dominant players on the field at the same time. I don't know. I don't know who's staying, who's going, but I do know if you do got a good foundation, he gonna bring in 50 new guys. And then you gotta reprogram them and see are they here just for the year, are they here for the team? They have no loyalty to you. And then you gotta look at why they left their school. And it's like, okay, surely you ain't gonna tell me you're gonna get 50 good guys out the portal. You be lucky to get 10. So now you bring 40 garbage. What does that bring? Do you bring that same thing you keep talking about? Oh, they don't want to practice. What do you bring? Are you bringing that same people? Oh, they don't care if they lost. It ain't affecting them. Because you're bringing people from another program who 9 times out of 10 is the reason they leave. You ain't finna get 40 good guys. Everybody else getting the portal too. So you put them from the same portal as everybody else. You ain't getting all the good ones. Some of the good fish going to Texas Tech and this and that. So you got so many people you got to pull out of there. You got to fill these spots. What energies are you bringing in that keep bringing you every year? Well, these guys got bad character. I didn't see that. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. Go ask your scout players and want to trust. You're not gonna get everybody you want, and you're not gonna get everybody you need. Yet you got to fill those gaps. So you gonna fill it with the rest of high school? Is it that many high school guys? Because again, you split them with other colleges. At the end of the day, when you have that many people you got to recruit every year, you got to have some fluff. You can't wait to count. Yeah, you got to have your recruiting team got to be on a whole nother level. And I know he lost a major recruit when guy came from Florida for AMU that year. That was their best year. Then he left, went back down there. I ain't, hey, I ain't knocking you, Mitch. I'm kind of like, I mean, I'm a realist. See, people watch my stuff. I'm a realist. I'm not with the whatever. I'm gonna tell you what's real. Yeah, I mean, but those guys was built different. They were groomed. All the underdraft and CU players. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can't have a mediocre season and expect to get drafted to CU. Look what they did to Block Bully. He could have made somebody some. He all them boys that's on the roster that got drafted. He tear them up. He tore Texas up before he even came to Colorado. You can't tell me he can't play at the next level. So what y'all worry about is his height, his this. Hey, that man tearing them up. You still didn't give him a shot. And it's supposed to be you come to Colorado to get seen, but you came the wrong year when they want to make a point. They want to make a point out of Coach Prime. So the guys who barely on the edge, they didn't get drafted. Even BJ Green barely made it in. Look at all he accomplished. Should he have stayed at Arizona State and went to play out? I bet he would have been drafted higher. It's just so his luck. He left, and this team go to the championship. I mean, go to championship, win it, and go to playoff. And you undermine everything he did. By while you trying to throw salt on Prime and do it everybody, it hit everybody. So you can't be losing it on mediocre. Everything that you're supposed to got, it's the extreme opposite as well with Coach Prime. All the spot, like he say, well, there's sunshine, there's rain, or he say, well, there's bright lights expose the blemishes as well as your success. He talk about that. He ain't lying. Been a coach. His physical and take a lot of toll on by. Oh, well, I've talked about this too. I said, man, that's another thing. I didn't know if he gonna make it to this season or it through any more seasons because it is heavy on the body. It's stressful. It's year round, and he don't have a major health situation with his foot, and then he add the bladder. I was like, man, this is not looking strong. So that's another thing that I didn't really see him doing 5 years. And it's like, for what? Your son's gone, your health is more important, your family, your grandkids. I don't thought about and talked about all that. But if we're strictly talking football, does he have the time and the resources to rebuild Colorado? That's what we're talking about. It ain't about what I want or you want. It's kind of a grown-up conversation. Do he have the resources to rebuild Colorado? Yes or no? Being honest. Being honest. What's going on? Being honest. What's best for him? What's going on? Yeah, they got the money. Just need. Yeah. Buffs have the talent. I don't know. I'm sure. I'm sure they may have the talent, but I think it's so many factors. I think you got coaching going on. Absolutely, man. That's how you know something else going on with that stuff, man. Yeah. That I seen another content creator. I mentioned it. I said these Swayze bodies ain't lasting, man. Everybody, I ain't never seen so many mittens on hands in one team. Everybody on the field, half the people out there got mittens on one hand. They got cornerbacks out there trying to cover with mittens on. I was like, man, this is crazy. I ain't know who came up with that out. Is it them women out there? All these women who came up with these little cute little mittens, man. I ain't never seen that in my life. I've seen people broke hands in them mittens, and all your DBs got mittens on. It's crazy, man. But yeah, man, we ain't never seen that with Mo. I mean, we've seen people get hurt. Last year they had people hurt. Everybody got people hurt, but man, everybody hurt every week. So what is going on? It's obvious. Because they turning on him. He should have ran out. I don't know, man. I don't know. He got that money. I don't think they giving him that kind of money. I don't think they give him that kind of money. He can't. No, yeah. That's what I'm saying, Brazil. I don't think he can do it. I mean, that's a lot of energy. That man been spinning and spinning since he got there, trying to catch air, until he finally gonna realize he ain't no dummy, just like he did at Jackson State. At some point, he gonna realize, man, I can't do this. Let me just go on somewhere where the resources are there, where the type of players I need is there, or go there. They recruiting them there, whether the coach there or not, like a Florida, it's SEC, and I ain't got to work as hard on recruiting. I ain't got to work as hard to find the big men to come here, way out here. They already in the South. You in Florida. Shoot, hit the Florida job, probably the best job for him, honestly. He get to say, I'm in Florida with the Florida boys. It's right below Georgia. He take Juju and all them boys back by the crib. You know, shoot, Gainesville, what, 5-6 hours from Atlanta on the drive? It's about good as being in Georgia. And you got Florida. You right below, maybe not even an hour, 45, about an hour, 45 minutes below the Georgia line. And then you like, boom. But I would take the Florida job if they offer it. I think they'll give it to him. They'd be stupid not to give it to him. He's from Florida. All the hype would be back. Then he get to go against Florida State. Man, please. I'll take Juju Butt right now in Florida. Now, I don't know that other quarterback gonna leave because he came for the other coach. But, man, and I don't think most of them boys will leave if Coach Prime came. Are you serious? And I think his recruiting will be stronger. All that Florida stuff he taught will be stronger in Florida than trying to get him to Colorado. All them Miami boys, his recruiting will go through the roof. He won't have no talent issue. He'll be right there between Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and then he still better pull from Texas. Come on, man. He won't be playing them night games every week. There'll be fools try that on the East Coast. Yeah, they used to do a lot of calisthenics and cute stuff. I said maybe they'd be more athletic. Man, them doggone bodies was too lean. Them bodies was too lean. Or State. Yeah, I mean, Auburn would be good if they wanted him there. I think last time he tried to go to Auburn, they didn't want him to do certain stuff. I think Florida is his strongest bet because of his Florida ties, honestly. And it's, it just benefits his recruiting, man. His recruiting go through the roof. I think the weather is better for him health-wise. Get out of the doggone mountains. He don't talk that talk. He love it. Woo, ain't leaving. But he better leave. He better leave. I'm telling you, he better leave. These folks is not for him like that, man. I'm telling you, he better leave. I'm being real with you. I don't know what this new AD gonna do. NFL sabotage because it's trash. It's definitely trash. Then you get Juju drafted, he's gone. He's done coaching. That's one way or another. I mean, because we don't know how he feel physically. Could he lead this year? Yeah, he can lead. If he already talking, them coaches' positions gonna get filled one way. Every year they get filled. How did the coach from Alabama get there after he was at Washington State? They was in this doggone national championship, and then he turned around and went to Alabama, and that was in January. Coach Prime, if he want to lead, he better be looking to lead now. By Thanksgiving, just like he did with Jackson State, he need to be ready to pack up and leave. And the portal don't open to what? It don't open in December like it used to. It don't open to January. So, because the window is not as big. So, if he gonna leave, he better be getting ready to leave now. And he better be ready to go as soon as that last game over with. Boom. Go. And be ready to keep players there so they won't hit the portal. And he got to be ready to go there and pull his players that he want to take with him, whoever, to the portal. If he was going. Oh, it's a lot of open. There's more jobs than he'll ever see, man. At Power Four, I ain't never seen so many prominent. Penn State, Florida, LSU, Auburn, all open at one time. Come on now. Somebody going. Somebody going. Crowd is ready to jump all over Deshaun because he's not defending them fighting in the field. Oh shoot. He ain't gonna be that long either. Especially he winning. He ain't gonna be that long. All he gotta do is prove he can coach and get a staff. He gonna follow Coach Prime. Because you gotta think about it. It's Power Four, it's FCS program, it's group of four schools that would love to get somebody like him. He ain't no complete live fraud because he ain't in control. Yes, y'all think he owns something. They got a new AD. He has no loyalty to Colorado outside of the AD. The AD who's brought him there. The other people that want him there. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. If they don't have the same level of support, the man gotta go. Period. That's why he a fraud because he left Jackson State. They didn't support him and what he wanted to do. They wanted to do something different. They want to do more traditional stuff. It's best you leave. You ain't on the same page. If Colorado new AD come in and he ain't on the same page with Coach Prime, you a fool to say he supposed to stay there. Cause he only know what he know up under the current Rick George. That's what he came. That was the terms. If the terms change, he got to go. And it's likely the terms gonna change. It's very unlikely the new AD gonna come in and say do the same thing you did with Rick George. Rick George had his own convictions as a man and his own legacy and background. Where even if Coach Prime struggled, he had enough weight. This new guy coming in got something to prove. He can't depend on Coach Prime being able to rebuild that program because if he don't, what? Coach Prime gone. If he missed this window, it'll be like a guy like Staub who's supposed to left, and now he's stuck in the backup position when he should have left when he was hot, when people wanted him, when his value was up. Coach Prime value is still up. It's not as high as it was, but it's still high enough for a team who believe he can bring something to them and they can bring something to him. They can make it work. It's still high enough. If he keep losing at Colorado, eventually his value gonna drop, and they gonna get rid of him. Then he ain't gonna be able to go nowhere. Plus, ain't too many years where you get this many teams that's ready like that. It's just not that. Never letting him run the program either. Is all. Yeah, I mean, we can say that. We'll see. If he leaves Colorado, he's a failure. If he stay, he could be a failure. So what are you talking about? I mean, we don't know what he's gonna be able to do. We don't know what he's gonna do. Yes, yeah, man. I can't say Big 12, man. The Pac-12 didn't like him. I can't say. I can't say. I do know them ref team up on his behind. I do know that. You have to ask how Arizona State, since now you talking about winning, competing, but CU has a better environment. I don't know, man. I mean, all these teams you just named, I don't know. Utah, I mean, they got a legacy. They got a legacy coach. But Arizona State was good last year, so they should be good this year. I mean, they doggone went to the playoff, and almost got Texas with Scatterboo. Cincinnati was good last year. They went on a nice little run. Colorado caught them slipping. When Cincinnati went on a nice little run last year, but didn't they just lose to doggone Arizona? So you should have Arizona on there too. Arizona's playing good this year. They only got like 3 losses, and they just snubbed Cincinnati, and Cincinnati was ranked. To the point Arizona might be ready to get ranked. BYU again, they won last year. They not necessarily the most talented team, but they definitely well coached. They got that Utah tradition, man. Who knows, man? Coach Prime be talking in code. Who knows? I know he better be having some conversations. It's him or them. Yeah. He had a winning season after the second year, man. I can't call it a losing season. Colorado got to figure out if they want to be a football school or not. And the AD who coming in gonna show that. The basketball doing good, volleyball, everybody doing good. Everybody benefited from the hype now because people want to go to that school. Their enrollment went up, but they ain't been a football school in a long time. They have a tradition in the freaking early 2000s, in the 90s. They ain't had a football tradition in a long time, man. And they got to decide. Yeah, if he leave, he can bring a lot of them. He can bring Mario Miller. He can bring everybody. Easy. They can hit the portal just like anybody else. Okay, good. he got a mountain to climb at Colorado. I'm telling you that. With this one little portal window and 40, 50 guys leaving, and you building on top of whatever you got going on the heebie jeebie up there. See you go back into the business, he leaves. They'll blame him instead of realizing nah, I mean, look here. It'll go back. If that man lose another year, man, if he have another year like this, which I can't say he couldn't. I mean, put it like this: if Juju stay there and they can't do like they did last year, you gonna lose Juju. Why would he risk his whole career? He's not his son. Why would he risk his whole career to stay there? Well, you can take him on to Florida and get some big old lumberjacks down there and not let it just have pulled out and slammed every play. That's the best thing you can do. Juju, hey, don't leave. We gonna leave. That's what he did with Travis. Travis could have left Jackson State and all. They were loyal. Coach Prime said, "No, what? Don't leave. Come with me to Colorado." It benefited him. He had a relationship. He got to protect his relationships with people like Juju and Jordan Seaton career. He got to do the same thing he did for Travis and Shador. He got to protect their career. That's what I'm looking at. He got to protect their career. Florida is the best place. None easy. I ain't just saying that. Like Florida is like right down the street, man. It would be not the same as him going because he ain't got Travis and Shador. But if he went to Florida, it will put him back almost at 2023. It will be the biggest story. Oh, Prime is going back home. And he got all them IMG boys. Like, come on, man. IMG is in Florida. His IMG recruiting would go through the yang yang. You think if they come into Colorado, hit pipeline to Florida? IMG is right down the street. Come on now. He better take that Florida job if it's there. I can't say I know Florida want him because I think they wanted him last time. They've been talking about him last year when the other coaches, this coach there, before he got the quarterback. I think they want him. Why wouldn't you want Coach Prime back in Florida? You know he gonna get the recruits. All you really need is give Juju a line and a decent defense. Florida gonna be a contender in the SEC. Why wouldn't you want to go and play against Georgia and Auburn and Texas and all them? What? All your recruits gonna come back that you lost. Jordan Seaton would love to go down there. I'm telling you. It's either he take that ride now or he missed the ride later. The new AD better look to make changes. You know he making. Why would they get a new AD if he ain't gonna make change? That's why I try to tell the people when they say Juju and Barcelona gonna go in and they gonna do the same thing. How foolishness you think they on? Why would they go and put these guys in there and do the same thing? Why would they do that? That don't even make sense. They not finna do the same thing. Trust me. They ain't getting rid of Rick George to do the same thing. You believe that? And you can say that, man. I'm telling you, man, it's some stuff going on behind the scene. I'm just gonna say that. Matt McChesney is trying to hang on with his support for Coach Prime, but you can tell his peers they've been talking about even what Shador with the jersey. They've been on him. Matt McChesney actually want to support him, but he gonna tell him the truth. But a lot of them alumni ain't for Coach Prime. Where they been this year? They was all there last year before. What was Cordell Stewart this year? I just thought about that. Where have we seen Cordell Stewart this whole year? He was all up in there. Think about it. Where he been? Where he been on the well-off videos? He was there every week. Something's going on, man. And I don't think he ever had. I think that board was always like a doggone Democrat Republican. I think that board was always like anything can tilt that thing. I think Coach Prime came in. They had just enough to get him in there, and I think that thing is shifting back. And I think that thing going like this on Coach Prime. Coach Prime better abort, ship, abort. Everybody losing, but you know that who knows what they got behind them. Yeah, shoot. BYU, man, please. BYU, them Utah folks got something going on. I think they finna add more time anyway. Get them phone calls now. Boy, he better go, boy. Boy, he better go, boy. I ain't got nothing against Colorado, but I'm a realist, man. I see the writing on the wall. Yeah, I know he can't not see the writing on the wall. He gotta go. Time up, man, because that new AD come in and do anything, man. His value drops tremendously. He got to rebuild a whole team. I'd rather rebuild a whole team at Florida than rebuild them at Colorado with the portal. That's the uphill battle. With one portal at that, man, he is in jeopardy. He's in jeopardy of not only not being able to do it, he's in jeopardy of losing his players to the same teams that he can go work at. Them same SEC teams gonna be recruiting Juju and Jordan Seaton and Amarion Miller. LSU, I know they calling. He need to get gone, man. Okay, if they keeping them, then why they on the list? Hood's well upset. They also not only was they money was involved too. They say they paid a big bad to Nakai Hill Green to go to Alabama. He couldn't pay them. They mean again at some point you're gonna have to pay these folks. And you're gonna get outpaid at some point. You ain't gonna be able to keep everybody. It's like an NFL roster. At some point, you gotta let people go because you can't pay them. You gotta let them go to somebody that can pay them to free up your doggone budget. Or you're gonna live off of 3 stars and 4 stars. Easy, easy. If he get to Florida, they'd be dumb not to call Coach Prime. I know they called him. I know they called him last time. I know be taught. Well, smoke is fire. Yeah, man. He wasn't finna play with him, man. Oh, come on, man. Ain't no dummy now. Ain't no dummy with this either. Y'all can listen to me now. Listen to me later on. Like I told y'all with Shador and how the NFL was doing. I know writing on the wall when I see it. And see, he don't have people like me around. I know when I see it, I'm like, oh, you better get gone. You better get gone. That's why I wasn't hating him when he went from Jackson State, because I knew what was said behind the scenes of Jackson State. I knew what they were saying. And I knew the SWAT was turning against him as a conference in his school. So you better get gone. You're a celebrity. They can't protect you like that. They can't even keep your doggone office from getting broke in. These people jealous of you, man. Get gone. They'll take you out for anybody. Doggone Judas. Man, that news, he coming for Coach Prime, man. Once Rick George move out the way, Coach Prime is fair game. They knew they couldn't get to him without it. Cordell trying to be the coach. That'd be funny. He ain't got no coaching experience. He should have came on with Prime. Machez said he mean the enemy is. I don't think Machez is the enemy. He ain't the enemy. If the man was the enemy, he'd say the enemy. I think the man telling them what they need to do. They need to recruit better. They ain't recruiting good. He was training all their linemen. He needs somebody to coach them freaking linemen. What are you talking about? He the enemy. They lines suck. They need some coaching. All McChesney boys is playing at the top schools. He trying to help them fools recruit. And they ain't listening to him. Cordell, man, if he do, he gonna be at HBCU first. He gonna have to work his way up like everybody else. Chesney ain't trying to hit on no Coach Prime. He the only one in them alumni that I see who trying to act like they trying to work with Coach Prime. Them other boys, they turned on him. They turned on him. Yeah, it's the reason why Cordell ain't around. He probably didn't like the jersey thing because I ain't heard from him since. He probably wanted Juju too. Yeah, I think he was. I think I do remember that. I think Juju was friends with part of recruiting with Cordell. I think Cordell met Juju when he was young. So I remember something like that when they was recruiting Juju last year. And I think that he probably did want see when you don't do things their way, they turn on you. Or they stop supporting you. I mean they got the right to do that. I'm not saying that's wrong. Especially if they're right. Yeah. That's why I say this is he need to get gone. Florida need to buy him out that contract and let them have their way. They got the new AD. Let them find their own coach. Let him rebuild a team with 50 people, 100 people. Let him do it like Coach Prime did. Because they going to have to do it one way or another. I don't see it turn out good. I don't think it's fair to people like Jordan Seaton. I don't think it's fair to Mario Miller going into his senior year. He need to put up numbers. He need to go to a playoff. And these are the same reasons why these people going to be recruiting him. They can be like, look here, man. You only got so much time. You got to be, this experiment at Colorado ain't worth your career. They going to recruit the mess out of these boys. And Coach Prime have to get smart and say, before they recruit my boys, like he did with Travis Hunter, I'll leave. Why should I stay? Because if he stay in Colorado, it could be the end for him. It could be stressful. It could be the end. It could be the end. They different, man. Yeah. He probably felt a certain way. Because you notice Cordell ain't been around. This out of all them years that Coach Prime been there, Cordell was, you see him in well off at least a couple times. We ain't seen Cordell. We ain't seen him. His support is dwindling at CU, man. I don't know what Miller be doing. I can't say. But I'm going to tell y'all this. I mean, it's a different system, man. He should have been in this pure RPO, knowing the option offense, run the ball like Georgia Tech. He should have been in more of a system like a Georgia Tech. They had no business recruiting Salter. They didn't have what he needed. And you didn't have no business putting him over Juju after you gonna convince Juju to come and all these people call there, whoever, whatever they told this boy, and y'all put him on the bench, and then they sitting there watching their team lose. They know Juju better. Juju on his worst day is gonna throw better than Salter. I'm sorry. Now, the problem is, I felt like I wasn't pushing it because they ain't have no line. And I'm thinking, like, is where he was getting slammed, he was going to get slammed like that all season. Good thing about Salter was able to escape a lot of those sacks, even though he got sacked too. I didn't want to see Juju getting body slammed like that every game. Shador took that beating. I didn't want to see. That's the only reason why I didn't trip. But yeah, I knew that Juju was a better quarterback. I think they knew. And I think when he say Shador, that Juju wasn't ready, I think Coach Prime even knew that line wasn't a good fit for Juju. It's not a good fit. Salter it worked because he'll run the ball. So that's why he said that's why Coach Prime probably committed to having a mobile quarterback, because he knew that'd compensate for the lackluster line he had. But no, why would they do that? He's the new coach. It's just like anybody else. Why would they take care of his recruits? They can't pick on him. If he go there, he got the same number of recruits available as everybody else. Depending on how many people will leave that team and stay, how many he can bring with him. That's what I say. But yeah. And on that, I'm finna shut this thing down, y'all. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment. I got some things coming, y'all. Like I mentioned today. I'm gonna be talking more about it because I talk about football from a common sense standpoint. I'm a common sense person, period. And I have opportunity with in the state of Georgia to bring some combine style showcases for high school athletes, and a lot of these guys who are in the portal, so even some of the college guys, to help these guys get recruited. It's critical in this time because of this era, this NIL portal era. A lot of kids gonna get left behind. Recruiting budgets are limited. We got technology. You cannot really purely build off of technology, but it helps you get exposure. All we had was camps back in the day, so we combining that thing now. We got camps where we got technology, and we're gonna be doing some things in the state of Georgia. I'll link y'all up with other states if y'all want more information. It's a national effort here, but I'm dealing with the state of Georgia, and I'm gonna be letting you know about some combines coming up to help some of these guys get into school. It ain't all about going to Colorado or to a big school, but man, it's a lot of things going on, man. You look at high school football games, a lot of guys not participating. The sidelines are not as full. I think colleges are limited too. It's got more schools, more football programs. I think eventually some of these football programs are going to have to shut down because there's less guys participating playing ball. So it's a major thing going on with not only getting kids to play sports these days, but also make sure that they get the exposure and opportunity to go somewhere. Everybody ain't going to Georgia. Everybody ain't going to Florida. Everybody ain't going to Colorado. And it's like, if you don't go there, then it's like, I don't know where else to go. or the coaches ain't coming to you because they're a smaller school or whatever, or they're not in that region, and you may be what they need. So it's a lot of opportunities that's missed, and it's been going on even since I was playing. So I'm gonna be talking more about that. Make sure y'all again like, subscribe, comment, and I'll be talking to y'all soon. Y'all have a good one.